Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today I will be welcoming back our good friend Julia Montgomery, who you know as Betty Childs in Revenge of the Nerds. I met up with her last week in Studio City. We had dinner, me, her, and my mother. She was really cool, really awesome. Had a good time meeting her, and I'm having her on the podcast today. She's going to promote whatever convention appearances she has coming up that she brought up to me, and I'll give her a recap of the trip since you all haven't heard it yet, and I've been back for 4 days now, or 4.5, I should say. So yeah, here is my new interview with Julia Montgomery.
Hello there.
What's up, Julia?
Well, what's the latest? I mean, I don't know, just on hold for a couple of commercials and stuff. Just mixing it up between that and real estate. You never know.
Nice. Oh my God. So you've been auditioning for commercials?
Yeah, that's sort of where I'm at right now because it's really fun and quick and I can easily do that with my real estate deal. So that's perfect for me. The best of both worlds.
Oh my God, I heard that commercials don't pay like they used to.
Not quite as well, but still better. Still pretty good considering. Yes, there's a lot of change in our industry, but they can still pay better than some other acting jobs. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. There's just so many ways to sell things these days with the internet and all the the different networks and stuff that they've just got a million ways to to work around it. But I do it because I love it, and I love to make money for sure. That's always exciting. But the truth is, I just love honestly. I just love doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. You're doing what you love,
Exactly.
Oh my God. So the trip was fun. It could have been better, I think.
It could have been.
Yeah. So Monsterpalooza, it has grown in popularity so huge since I first went there 3 years ago, and there's just so many people there. It's so crowded, and so many people who are like signing or doing, whatever, working there. They just seem so uncomfortable.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sort of not a fun event to be around.
Yeah. I mean, it is a fun event, but it's just insane the amount of people that are there. But I like that convention center much better than the Marriott in Burbank that they have in the fall because there's no elbow room in that venue.
Oh, yeah. Right, exactly.
So that's a good thing, but it was just insane. I spent 2 hours and 30 minutes in Pee Wee Herman's line.
Oh, my God. That's horrible.
Yeah. It was well worth it. He was a very nice man considering the amount of people he had to deal with.
Exactly.
You're starting to cut out a little bit, Julia.
Oh, God. And I'm not even in the car.
Yeah. I think it depends on what room you're in or if you're like moving around.
I swear I'm not moving.
Okay.
Right, I may have to go outside then. Let's see.
Okay.
There. Hey, with me. My worry is that my phone will lose charge. So let me. I don't know. This it's crazy. Okay, hold on one sec.
I'm hearing you better now.
Not in the hallway. I'm going to go downstairs because I think it's going to be outside. I think it's going to be much better. It's less consistent out there. Very irritating otherwise. I have to get like one of those booths or whatever it is for the internet in this house. I just have to do it. Try getting it done. Let's see. Can you hear me any better now?
Perfect.
Oh, great.
It's perfect.
Great.
So yeah, I mean, we had a lot of fun on the trip, and just, getting to have meals with you and several other guests. I mean, that was just a joy.
Oh, that was so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. Your mom is a kook. She's so funny. She's adorable.
Mm-hmm.
I get where you get she's an Energizer bunny. She just keeps going.
Yeah.
She is.
I know. I mean, there were certain like times where I was just like, "Oh God, please be quiet, Mom. They're here for me."
I saw your face. I was like, "Oh my God, we're coming." Because I could tell you were like in pain, and I'm like, "Oh, this is fine. She's a mom. There's no way you're getting around this. This is just."
Yeah.
So cute. She's so cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been, I don't know. I guess it's been a kind of a busy week. The time has sort of flown by.
I know.
The last saw you was not very long ago. At least we pulled out some decent weather for you versus all the stuff we've been going through.
Oh yeah, 2 years ago.
That was good.
2 years ago, me and my brother were out there for Monsterpalooza, and it was overcast all week long. We didn't see any sun while we were out there.
Oh, that's horrible. Yeah. It's been very nice lately. So I mean, we're back to what we're paying for out here in California.
Exactly.
I mean, really. Can't we control this a little bit? No. But anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm getting ready. What is it? What theater are we in? It's like the 18th. Going to the 80s in the desert in Las Vegas in like 15 days. It's the Friday and Saturday, the 3rd and the 4th. Have you heard of those events? The 80s, I did the 80s, like in the Dominican Republic.
Oh yeah.
And now this will be my second one. I had not heard of them until I did that. It was fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, with all the pictures, you and Diane posts and stuff. I mean, it looked like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had a great time. We had a wonderful time. Yeah, this was at the Rio. I've never been to the Rio. I don't know anything about the Rio, but I'm going to find out.
Yeah, who else is going to be there with you?
Brian Tochi.
Oh, Brian Tochi.
From our cast. And I don't know if the other artists, how many other, actors. I know in Dominican they're just like 4 actors and then a lot of bands and stuff. So I'm wondering if it'll be similar to that. This was a little bit more convention style, but still sounds like a really nice show. They're a really nice company to they put you up well, and they're fun. So I'm sure it'll be a good time.
Yeah.
Brian and I will hit the town running. Although I'm not much of a gambler. I'm not really good. I mean, I'm not really good at putting my money down and just saying, let's see where it goes. Like, I don't know. I don't really gamble. I don't play cards like that. I would never play cards for money.
I'm a slot machine.
On that element.
Yeah, I'm a slot machine guy.
Oh, maybe I could do slot machines. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a great idea. That's my style.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I haven't been to Vegas since I was 21. I want to go back eventually. There's they got the famous whorehouse out there. The Bunny Ranch, and I'm trying to get an interview with the madame. She was supposed to message me the week before the trip, and I never heard from her, and I'm trying to hear from her now.
Wait, where is this whorehouse? Like, it's an actual whorehouse? Like,
yeah, it's a brothel. It's in Las Vegas.
Real.
Yeah, it's like right out in the boonies. I don't know exactly where, but they actually had a reality show of it on HBO that I used to watch in the 2000s. It was called Cat House.
Oh my God, that sounds wild.
Yes, and oh my God, it was pretty funny and pretty sexy, the show, because they would show, the actual sex going on between the prostitutes and the customers, but they wouldn't show penetration up close.
Wow! Oh my God!
Yeah.
So what does one pay to get into it? Or I guess it's according to what you order on the menu.
you go in there, you talk to the madame, and she tells you, how much this is, that is, and then she gives you a lineup of girls to choose from.
Oh my God!
Mm-hmm.
Wow! Okay, and how do we know? I'm going to ask you all the whorehouse questions.
Go ahead.
How do you know, these? How do we know? I'll ask the obvious one. How do you know that these people are healthy? Without diseases and stuff. How does that part work?
Well, they do take testing. I think in order for them to work there, they have to take tests constantly.
I would say constantly.
Yes.
24/7.
Yes. Because, they don't want to get sued. They don't want to infect their clients, so they have to get constantly tested,
And then the guys, I would sure have to wear condoms, I'm assuming, or something. Or is that another part of the menu?
I don't know about that, but I would imagine that they would want them.
That's not working whorehouse.
Yeah, I don't know. I never been to one either, FYI, but this is what they talk about on the show. I would imagine that they would want them to wear condoms, yes.
Yeah, right, exactly. All right, we'll have to look that up. I'm sure they've got the menu online. That would be an eye-opener.
I have every episode on tape.
I bet. Need a little spice up, turn on the Cat House.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And are they really, if it's a famous place, I'm assuming the girls are pretty, attractive.
Oh, yeah, they're gorgeous.
Wow.
They're like supermodels.
So now I'll know what to watch late night when I'm up and I just can't sleep.
I don't think it's actually on HBO anymore, but I think you can watch maybe episodes on demand if you have it.
Okay. That sounds fine. I demand that I'll demand it. Yeah, no, I'll have to check it out. Sounds very exciting.
And some of these prostitutes are were porn stars too, as well.
I'm sure. I mean, why not? I mean, I guess.
Yeah, there was one that was actually famous, Sunset Thomas, but she retired.
Oh. Well, way back in the mid-'80s, there was a, I'm sure there was more than one, obviously, but there was a famous porn star who had, I guess wherever we were going to a restaurant, it was right across the street. I don't know what, but the guy I was dating knew who she was. And I'm like, okay, all right, well, if she's there tonight, like, what's happened? Like, how does this work? And yeah, I'm not a particular, like, I'm not sure I could go that route on the, if they had, like, a guy's whorehouse.
Yeah.
What do I call a guy's whorehouse? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't even think they exist, to be honest.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Okay, that's the difference between Mars and Venus, I guess, maybe. But, yeah. I don't really like Chippendales, that kind of stuff. Like, I think maybe this is a huge generalization. The women out there maybe are like, no, you're so wrong. But I think that girls like to get to know who the guys are. And then take your clothes off. How about that?
Oh.
A little bit anyway.
Oh, here's a funny story. I interviewed Veronica Carlson. She was in all those Hammer horror movies in the late '60s, and
right.
she was a good friend of Roger Moore, who played James Bond. You know.
Yeah, sure.
And he used to cheat on his wife a lot, and and she trusted him with her because they were like brother and sister. So one time, he asked her if she would go to a whorehouse with him because he needed an alibi, for his wife, And so she said, in an English accent, she said, while he was in the room shagging some girl he doesn't even know, I was in the hallway discussing nail polish colors with the prostitutes.
Great.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
I just love it.
That's a girl for you. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's a great line.
Oh, I gotta tell you, today is the last day of 420. Can you guess what I gave up for 420?
No, what?
I'll give you a hint. It's something I love so much in life, and we're actually talking about it.
Yeah?
Yep.
Oh, you gave it up?
I gave it up for 40 days and 40 nights.
Well, then you're going to be really ready in 41 days.
Oh, no. Today's the last day.
Oh, you had given it up. You made it through.
Yes, I made it through is what I'm saying.
No wonder your mom was irritating you so much.
Well, come on.
I do not have the appropriate outlet.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Oh, God.
I can't wait till midnight because I'm going to masturbate and it's going to be a very sweet victory.
Oh, my God. Why did you give this up? Like Lent or something? What?
Yeah, for Lent, because my friend bet me that I couldn't. And
Gave up sex for Lent. That is so funny.
Yeah. Well, she's going to come over tomorrow and she's going to reward me.
Ah! My God. Then wait for tomorrow.
I know, but I can't have a loaded gun. I have to just, get myself ready.
Great. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, brother. Well, here's just some good excitement.
Yeah. One thing I was struck by when we were having dinner was I can't believe how perfect your teeth are.
Well, I had braces only on the upper teeth when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Then, in 10 years, I decided to do Invisalign, not so much for the top ones,
Mm-hmm.
but for the bottom ones. I love Invisalign. I'm done with it, but then you always use it. You always use it at night, or, pretty much, depending on the excitement level of your evening.
Right.
But thank you so much. Because I was like, I'm just going to do, it's nice to have, teeth that are, that are looking good, that are lined up correctly. And you know what? When I was a kid, they always said, or a young teen or whatever I was, I think I was like 12 or something, they always say, wear your retainer. But then my parents didn't like, now with our kids, we're like, where is your retainer? Do you have your retainer? Are you wearing your retainer? Like every night, because there
Right.
goes your thousands of dollars. And so, as an adult, of course, I'm much more interested because I paid for it and I went through it, and but that's a bad segue from sex to teeth. But anyway, I thank you. I like that compliment. I'm thrilled that you thought they looked good.
My pleasure. Now back to sex.
I'll be looking. I'm getting like a Dentine commercial or a Crest commercial or something. Just for that. I'll feel extra confident.
Now back to sex.
Yeah, exactly. Enough of that dental hygiene stuff. Back to the right subject.
I was curious. What do you think about the G-spot?
Oh my God, Tommy, so much sex on your mind. And I can't. Ask Diane. What did she say? I think it's alive and well. How about that?
Alive and well.
I think it's alive and well.
I never knew it. I never knew a rumor of it to be dead.
Exactly.
Except maybe in the 50s, because it wasn't until like the 70s
Right.
when a woman actually wrote a book about it.
Right. Exactly.
There's a sex therapist I'm friends with. She just started a podcast. She's only done one episode, and I'm trying to get her on this podcast, but she's so busy. And she actually interviewed her on this little mini web interview thing she did on YouTube a few years ago, and she was starstruck by her the entire time. You know how people, when they have certain careers and like they're like around their idols and they just can't believe it. It was like that,
Right.
She's listening to her talk about the G-spot and sexual pleasure and stuff, and she's got this cute starstruck face, this starstruck look on her face. It was so adorable.
I can imagine. She's like, wow. Wow. Well, she'll be a great interview. My God, that'll be just amazing.
If she actually does it, because she's super busy. She goes around the country doing lectures constantly.
Oh, wow. Does she have anything on? I'm sure she's got something online.
Oh, yeah.
What's her name?
Her name is Dr. Tammy Nelson.
Tammy Nelson?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to write this down. See what she has to say. The Cat House and Tammy Nelson. I can see where this conversation is going. Jeez. I can't even believe that you're, no wonder you've got all this on your mind. 40 days.
By the way, if I shall say anything that's just a little too rough for you, just, give me a heads up.
Well, I got out of the cheese pie question. I just, alive and well. That's all I can say. But I'm about to look up the Wilson and the Cat House. And,
If I could help anybody with my perverted mind, it makes my day.
Yes. Okay, good. Good. And it's almost Friday. So, not that Saturday is it?
Oh, Saturday is my favorite holiday, 420,
Why is that?
because that's the day that, everyone smokes marijuana.
But I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's the party day for, well, that's every day in California now.
Well, yeah, that's so true. Yes. But 420 is the day that all the stoners, celebrate, marijuana. And I never really understood the significance of it being on April 20th because April 20th is actually Hitler's birthday.
Oh, you are horrible. Yeah, no. I wonder why they did choose it. And was it like National Pot Day or something like that, or like what?
Yeah, it's kind of an international pot day.
Right now, yeah. For International Pot Day.
Yeah. And
Well,
then May is International Masturbation Month.
what?
Yeah, did you know that?
Where do you get this? No, I didn't.
I found out.
Why May?
I had no idea why May, but I found out about it years ago on Facebook.
Okay, well, you were in the right crowd. I never knew that. Does that mean every day, all the time? What, that's what we should be doing.
Yeah, usually what I do is I post a picture of when Judge Reinhold gets caught in Fast Times at Ridgemont High on Facebook.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that's my usual picture to commemorate the day.
Exactly.
And
That's okay.
yeah, and I also go ahead.
Judge Reinhold did.
What's Judge Reinhold doing?
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing as far as acting, but I actually saw that he was booked for a convention up in Santa Rosa, I think about 2 years ago or something, and he actually ended up canceling it at last minute, I was told, and stuff. But as far as acting, I don't know if he does any. I mean, if he does, it's probably theater or something.
Right. Right. I always liked him, and I never understood why we didn't see more of him.
Oh God,
That's the way.
he's a
the way
good.
it is with.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah, he is. He is.
And how he got cast in Fast Times and Beverly Hills Cop, it was a really funny coincidence. He lived next door to both directors of those movies, and they were a couple. Amy Heckerling and Martin Brest were a couple, and he got cast in those movies because he lived next door to both of them.
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's just,
Wow.
how it was back then in Hollywood.
Right, exactly.
There was all these, there was all these weird coincidences back then.
Like being discovered in a drugstore or something or other, the way it was in the way back, supposedly.
Oh God, when I think about, when I think about that, I think about that Brady Bunch episode where they're in the supermarket and that director wants them to be in something. It reminds me of that because that's really how it was back then.
I mean, just wander around Hollywood, maybe you'll get discovered. Go to the drugstore. But somehow it wasn't CVS then. It was, it was the soda shop or whatever. All the more fun things. Funny.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the trip overall was good, but it could have been better. And I was hoping, I was going to meet some people. I was going to network with some people who was interested in reading my script and everything. But I got a lot of business cards. Go ahead.
What's your script about?
It's about a lesbian Catholic schoolgirl, and this is not a comedy, it's a horror film. She moves into this apartment complex that's being haunted by her imaginary friend from childhood, who had actually been killed the week before he became her imaginary friend 10 years before. He was killed. He was a security guard at that complex, and he was killed by some trespassing teenagers. And so she makes some new friends. One girl that she's actually interested in, and her friends who don't live there, they get killed off by him one by one.
Oh God!
And it's getting close to his day of reckoning because he was killed on like the first day of summer, and so I called the script "The Summer of Trespass."
Oh, that's a great title. I like that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a homage. Yeah, it's a homage to like all the slasher movies I grew up watching in the 80s. It's got supernatural elements, and just like everything about me as a horror fan is basically in this script. Like everything I was influenced by. I mean, there's pieces of Nightmare on Elm Street, The Shining, a lot of Charles Band's movies. Just everything I love about horror is in it.
Oh, that's great. What a fantastic idea. Is it finished yet?
I've written 2 drafts. I like the second draft a lot, but I need to add a few more. I need to add a few more characters because I want to give some friends of mine who have been guests on the podcast some work that they've been struggling to get work and stuff, And
right.
But overall, I mean, the script looks great. I think it's the best script I've ever written, and I showed it to this one a guest I've had, and she said it was the best script she's read about in about 20 years.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, and she actually compared me. She compared me to Stephen J. Cannell, which is quite funny because I've always admired him, and he never did horror and stuff, but he was he was a savant when it came to writing really good scripts, and I like to think of myself that way.
Yeah, that's really neat. I didn't realize that you had a script like that. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I didn't know it either until somebody in the industry told me.
Well, isn't that exciting? Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I have to run out the door in a couple minutes. But I also wanted to tell you about what was the other one? Oh, I forget. I'm going also to do that Niagara Falls event in Niagara Falls. I think it's June 7th. Let me see. Night with Teddy. Did I tell you that?
You mentioned it at dinner, but you didn't bring it up on here. The Niagara Falls one.
Yeah, actually, I have it on my calendar right now. That's what it is. It's June 7th, 8th, and 9th in Niagara Falls. It's supposed to be a great show, and you're supposed to be, well, no, it's supposed to be, I don't think it's not a huge show, but what it's supposed to be is the people who run it are really, really sweet and wonderful, and they they show you around everywhere and put you on like helicopter rides and all kinds of stuff too, so you can explore Niagara Falls after you're done working. So, so I'm really looking forward to it. I've never been to that part of the country, and also it'll be fun to be there with Ted. And then I'm going to have my daughter fly in, so she's there for part of the show, but mostly to have fun. And then maybe my friend from New York might come in who came with me on the Dominican Republic show. So hopefully it's just going to be a fun event. So those are a couple of shows that are coming up for me.
Oh, that's awesome! I'm glad you're getting booked
looking
more.
Forward to having some fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you're getting booked more. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I have a really funny joke to send you off with.
Okay.
Okay. I know you're married, so prepared to be offended by this. How do you?
Yeah, I'm separated. I'm about to be divorced. I'm not about to be divorced, but I'm in the process. So I'm
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes, yes. I separated in mid-January.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's okay. So I'm ready for your joke.
Okay, okay. How do you make your wife scream twice?
I don't know how.
You fuck her up the ass and wipe your dick on the curtain.
Oh, that is so gross. Tommy, Tommy,
Was that too much?
God,
I'm sorry.
was that too much? That is such a guy joke.
Yeah. I've told you guy jokes and you've laughed.
Yes, it's true. It's true. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Or screeched. I've sort of laughed, screeched.
Screeched.
I've given you a small horror scream from my horror days. Slasher horror days. Oh, God. You're killing me. We'll have some fun at midnight tonight. I know you're not going to wait a second longer. And then again tomorrow. And sounds like you get the beginning of a good marathon going.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be an oozer.
Oh, my God.
Okay, well, so Julia, okay, so you're gonna be in Vegas when?
Yes. Okay. In Vegas, it's the Friday and Saturday, the first Saturday and Saturday of May. I believe it's the third. Hold on. Third and the fourth, I think. Coming up. Yeah, it's the third and the fourth in Las Vegas. And it's called 80s in the Desert.
Awesome. And then Niagara Falls is
That falls is June 7th, 8th, and 9th in Niagara Falls.
that's like in the same week.
Niagara Falls.
That's like in the same week. You're gonna be like a really busy girl.
No, the first one is in May.
Oh, May.
Vegas is May. And then in June is Niagara Falls.
Oh, okay, I got you. One's May and one's June. Okay, awesome. Well, Julia, I'll talk to you again soon. I'm so glad that we got to talk again. And last week was so much fun.
Oh my God, it was great to finally, meet you in the flesh, as they say, and say hi to your mommy.
I sure will. I sure will. And when I come back down, for a few months starting in August, I'll hit you up again.
Perfect. I will talk to you soon.
Okay, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, there you have it. Julia Montgomery. Ain't she a sweetheart? Yes, she is, and I can't say that enough. She is just the coolest lady there is. A lot of fun. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes!